What favor would that be? Ooh, it's been a while since I've cracked knuckle. I probably shouldn't crack knuckle as a man in his 30s. Slightly shorter session today. I may have been very tired and very busy and overwhelmed. Okay, cool. I don't know if I can do the full 2 to 3 hours. You know what? You know what? That's fine. We'll just see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. If you ain't feeling it, or if you feel like your steam is kind of coming down a little bit, we can close it up a little bit. We can close it up if the steam is starting to leave you. So. But that's fine. Shouldn't be too much, because from last we all left off, you all had basically just survived battling Thulsuk. A Thulsuk that had been pretty well kind of holding back just a little bit. But you did manage to hurt him, and you managed to give him not only that, but a wicked scar provided by Puddles basically just shooting a light arrow straight into his chest. And now he's pretty proud of that wicked scar. And then Purgle decided to be a mean girl, because that's kind of what Purgle is right now. And that, I mean, actually, that's pretty well it. That's pretty well it. You all are pretty well... y'all are pretty well up to speed. So you all are now going to be... you all are going to be rewarded with what Sook insists is a great and grand feast for everyone involved. So now you all are pretty well just kind of being guided along by various little little devil grungs of varying sizes and colors, or all kind of, helping you and gathering around you as they lead you and help the rest of your posse that is in the Demon Grinder to also come along. So you notice them sort of helping Anais and Loopsy also kind of walk along and help. And helping them walk along and catch up and everything. So, yeah, I mean, they all sort of look to you. They look all now that they're not hostile to you. They're all just sort of darting their heads a little bit, kind of looking all around you like you're just, kind of like how emus kind of do when they see a new thing they don't understand. Not hostile, but they are incredibly curious. So, like, with Willy, they just sort of, like, they're just looking down or looking, I guess, eye to eye, close to eye to eye. He's a little bit taller than some of them. Some of them are able to look down, but others, for the most part, seem to be looking up. And they're just sort of like, fancy dog. Fancy dog? Fancy dog. Fancy dog? Fancy dog.
Fancy dog.
Fancy dog.
And they're just sort of like, and they look up at Enzo, and they're just sort of like, ooh, Buff Grung. Buff Grung? Buff Grung? Buff Grung.
Yep, close enough.
Buff Grung? And they, some of them are like, they reach out their hand to touch, but then they hold back, like they're like, they know, like, wait. Can I? No.
if one of them, like, reaches out to touch, like, Enzo will just kind of look at them and, like, hold out his hand for a high five. Like,
Aww.
Sure. High five me. Do it.
You see this shocked look on its face when he hears the sound of the hand clap sort of thing. Like, oh!
Enzo just grins.
Petals is watching Enzo touch all these grung. She's just kind of quietly watching that. He's definitely touching a lot of grung just fine.
Buff Grung.
Buff Grung.
He's a Buff Grung.
And then finally, with Olga, they're just sort of like. You see one of them kind of grab their spear and sort of like, not with the spear end, but with like the butt end of the spear. They're kind of like, one of them tries to reach out and poke like one of the ponytails of her hair, just sort of like, no leaf, not tree, not tree.
Swats them away.
Oh! They panic and just sort of.
Oh, gee.
Not tree. And they just sort of look at her like, nope, not tree. Not tree.
She too chunky to be a tree.
Sure not fat oak? Not fat oak.
Oh.
I was gonna say, you ever seen a tree with tits? But then I remembered there is like an animated movie with that, so.
Yeah, but this ain't the last unicorn, so.
Yeah.
So eventually you are all just sort of, you are all led to this big, huge encampment. It is all just filled to the brim with, hastily made, sort of like, hastily made cloth huts and bits of, like, scrap huts and everything made from, like, torn metals of other vehicles that they have clearly trapped and broken and torn to pieces, and scattered along on like pikes and everything you see like decorated feathers and decorated flags and streams and everything. Of course, obviously with some of the pikes, some of them are filled with like various skulls of things, big skulls with big horns. And, with all the little skulls are kind of treated like little streamers across the poles. But aside from the skulls, it's all very colorful. It's all very colorful, very interesting looking. And scattered about what seems to be sort of like a very low to the ground sort of table that sort of stretches out pretty big. Not as ever winding as Chomper's table, but still pretty impressive. And at the end of it, you see this big old fat pillow that seems to be like the size of a fucking swimming pool, that you can only assume that pillow belongs specifically to Thulsuk.
Yeah. Giant pillow.
Just a giant little, what seems to be like a beanbag pillow sort of thing. Just a big old thing for him, and like you see 3 others, that like 1 on his right and 2 to his left, that are also big pillows, but clearly slightly smaller pillows. And on one of the pillows, you kind of see the purple guy with the big spear just sort of sleeping on one of them. But on the other one,
should I pull up Sook's picture again so people can see the purple guy?
Yeah. I mean, y'all can. I think we do have the picture. The man behind the not that purple guy. Different
under,
purple guy.
It's under player artwork, yes.
If not, I think you also just sort of plopped it into text speech.
Here, I'll share it again. Easy memory. Here we go.
There you go.
Purple guy.
That purple fellow. But in front of the other pillow, where he is clearly standing up, you see a much larger grung. Much larger grung. Why he purple? Because he's just a purple grung. It just means that he's kind of a bishop. He's kind of the equivalent of a bishop in that culture, essentially. He's Kith. He's basically Sook's Kith. That's essentially what he is. He's Sook's Kith. But standing up in front of the other pillow is a much larger grung. An orange one with big expanding wings that seems to be talking amongst these smaller grung who seem to be like talking to him about some other business or some other. But he sort of looks up and he notices his father and his entourage coming up with all of you
Shall I
following
share
up behind him.
his picture?
And he does end up walking and approaching you, and yeah, go on ahead, and he looks exactly like this. So yeah. So yes, unlike many of the other devils here, this fella is quite unique in that most of his features, along with the features of being grung-like and a few devil touches here and there, seems mostly dragon-touched. And, especially like in the tail, it's less like pointy with the arrow tip that most devils tend to kind of have, and more like weirdly dragony and serpenty a little bit. But he approaches the rest of you and is just sort of like, oh, so you didn't kill him, did you? Well, I suppose that's good. Welcome. Let's see, and he looks down at, he looks at Puddles.
Puddles is trying to stand tall and proud.
Wait a minute. She's not... Wait, who is... And Thulsu just sort of stomps with his big hand, just sort of like... Son, this is your sister. Wait, what? Come and greet your sister with a mighty hug. Wait, okay, father, wait, sister, wait, what? Wait, I don't... And he just sort of... Okay, you're pushing me. Okay, that's all.
So Puddles is having a huge devil push another big devil towards her.
Family, he's like... He's just like... Oof. She was blunt now, that's family. Zook is very impatient. Okay, despite the father's insistence, Nald is just sort of like...
Puddles takes in the sight of this very large devil. And she gives a little wave. My name's Nangik, I guess?
Wait, you're Nangik?
That's...
That Nyongik. He looks up at his father, he's like, that Nyongik. And Thulsuk just sort of mightily just sort of shakes his head like, yes. Oh my god. This is like when you get a new step-parent who brings in a kid, and then your parents are like, okay, now get along now, and you're old enough to know what divorce and second marriage is, and it's just awkward.
This is like, I have to verbalize this one because it takes more context, but like, so my father's a slut and cheated on his first wife with my mom, and so I was younger. My half siblings, or no, I was born to when they got married, and I didn't understand the concept of like divorce and second marriage, but I knew I had half siblings from my dad's first marriage, and I knew they had a mom that was not my mom. And one time that mom came over to pick up my half siblings, and I looked up at her and I said, "Are you my half mom?"
Oh.
And I think she said like, she said it took everything in her to like not blow up at me because she knew I didn't mean anything. But also, that's like this, like that
God.
level of awkward and like you're forcing an interaction here that probably shouldn't happen.
Right. He's not getting time to digest anything right now.
Nal is not getting any. By the way, this fellow's name is Nal Suk. And eventually, after that sort of awkward, sort of like, okay, and
Puddles gave a wave.
and he sort of extends his hand out and is like, Nal Suk, son of Thulsuk.
I guess non-Gik. I usually go by Puddles. Daughter of Thulsuk? She extends her hand to take her itty bitty hand.
Yep, and he sort of messes with his hand, just sort of figuring, okay, do I extend out a finger or? got on her front. Okay.
Oh, Quinn, sorry I laughed when you first started your story. I did not realize you were talking about like actual personal experience at first.
I love you. It's okay. I think it's fucking hilarious.
Aw. But yeah. And the rest of you.
I'm Willy Wonderful! And he goes right up to Puddles, and he doesn't throw an arm around her shoulder, but he looks tempted to. He just leans like a little close to her, doesn't touch her, obviously. He knows her boundaries, and he's like, I'm Nengik? Puddles? Best friend!
Puddles grins at Willy, and you know what? She actually does reach an arm to put it, like, she can kind of get the vibe of what he's kind of leaning towards. Like, she actually reaches and touches his back. She knows it's safe. She knows it's safe, and she's touching Grung, so...
Willy lights up. He's like, oh! He's very happy about that, and he's gonna... He is going to risk the arm around the shoulder then, like, he's very happy.
She does flinch a little bit, but it's very brief.
Quite the outspoken one. But pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too!
Okay. And he looks over to Enzo and Olga, and he's just sort of like, he's just sort of waiting, just sort of expecting them to do an introduction or not. He's just sort of reading that.
They both stand there, staring, and not saying. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Fucking dead eye contact.
Sort of like,
Enzo bows a little politely, says, Enzo Whiptail at your service, and like holds out his hand to shake his hand. That's what you do. He's not really thinking of the grung thing, by the way. He's just like, hi.
I mean, okay. I mean, we don't really, it's just kind of a name. Okay. Sorry. I don't usually do too many of the introductions. I mostly just hit things. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just kill this conversation while it's still young.
Oh, no.
Did you? Oh, you didn't even get a chance to introduce yourself.
No, yep.
No, it's okay. I get it.
Nalsuk.
Olga gets ignored a lot. She's used to it. Actually, it fits
no.
because she's Faye, and giving her name is actually like everybody was giving their full name. She wasn't even gonna give her last name, and so she's doesn't have to give her any of her name. She's fine with it.
And what about the tree?
What? Why?
I mean, is she not? The others told me she was wait, is she not? Oh God, I shouldn't have believed the private.
I mean, I'd love to climb like a tree, but come on, bud.
So what?
Only my friends can climb me.
Okay, that's.
Oh, that includes me!
Okay.
Of course it includes you.
Okay. And he is Pretty well. After the blush underneath his mask, he's just sort of like, okay,
Aw.
right, do you do names? Do you do names at all? I don't.
Olga.
Okay, cool. Olga, right. Nalsuk, son of Thulsuk. You don't have to say anything else, I guess. You don't have to say anything else. That's for you to deal with. I don't. Why did you throw me out to be the one to talk? I thought Purgle was the one that's supposed. I thought Purgle talks. She loves talking. She's the one that likes hearing herself talk.
Purple?
I don't. I should not have said that. Oh, don't worry. I didn't hear a word you said over your anxiety sweats.
Aw.
No, help me make them!
Besides, that's okay, brother. You just continue on to going about what you do best, talking with the Ravelry and hitting things with a big stick.
Puddles reaches out and pats Nalsuk's leg.
Willie's gonna raise a brow and then lean a little closer to Nalsuk, like, you gonna take that?
At that, he looks over at Purple, and Purple just kind of gives Nalsuk a sickly smile as she has one hand on his shoulder.
Do you guys need her picture again?
If you just want a
I
reminder.
remember.
Oh, you remember Purple.
I remember she
Oh.
looks like a bitch.
She looks like she needs to be shoved into a locker.
And so cracks his knuckles.
But in case you do just need a little bit of a reminder.
Oh God, the urge to give her a swirly. Oh, fuck. Oh, I need to recover.
Bitch, you try that, and I'm going to make sure you're the one that has the swirly. By you giving it to your... What?
I'm dying over here.
I don't... you know what? You're right. That's neither here... That's neither here or the time for that, I guess. We're getting the feast all prepped up, I guess. You can go around the camp, I guess, until we get it done. We're prepping the meats first. So, we know mortals can't really eat the meat. I think, we have something of... No, go ahead, Snarl. Just go ahead and continue tripping over yourself. Maybe you might be better explaining that then.
No, I'd prefer if you explained it. I don't like her.
Wow.
And he's looking at Purgle.
Charming. Well, I suppose if that's what you wish, that's fine. I'll be over there waiting for the hour, I suppose, until he finishes. And, a little... Nald kind of takes that jab as Purple just sort of flies away.
Puddles watches her go, and she's frowning, and she kind of leans over towards Nalsuk, and she's like, "Is that really our sister?"
Yes. She is our sister.
She's not nice. She doesn't even look like she's related to us.
She embraced her status as a devil more than us, I suppose.
Ah.
We don't know we don't know where her alliance is in terms of to which devil lord she belongs to, but, either way, she seems to be really wanting to get to the top of the pecking order, I guess. So I always had a theory that it was Asmodeus, but, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Sorry, I shouldn't be discussing family things. So anyways, we made sure to spice it in such a way, we found a way. We have found a method in such a way to where we can prepare the food where most mortals can sort of eat it. It gives the food a little bit of a slight sour taste, but it should work. At least that's from what I hear it tastes like. We found a way to sort of baste the meat a little bit after we adjust our poisons in such a way to make it edible.
Wait, you make it edible with poison?
It's more of a weird it's more of a weird adjusted poison that Purgle made.
Oh.
Makes sense to me. Ain't poisons how antidotes are made?
That's true. Yeah.
And Purgle somehow found a way through her blood and through her poison. Somehow concocting that together sort of kills whatever sort of curse is put upon the meat. At least not without doing holy water. I mean, none of us can really touch holy water.
I only have one vial of holy water, so I can't help much.
Yeah, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to trust that Purgle knows what she's doing with the poisons.
And so, Frazzle says, you trust her more than I would.
I mean, she's full of herself, but I mean, she does know what she's doing, and she has helped the tribe enough, I suppose, to earn that cockiness, I guess.
What she's earned is a foot up her ass. She's really got a stick there.
Dang.
I mean, I suppose you wouldn't be the only one, but she does unfortunately have a little bit of the push to back it up. I don't know what happened to her when she was sent down here, but her death couldn't have been that good. I guess a lot happened that night that I just didn't know about.
Puddles is frowning and wants to ask questions, but that seems like a very private sort of thing, so she doesn't press it.
But yeah, let's see. I suppose if you need rest, we could gather around some of the furs or any extra pillows that Purgle might have gathered in her collection or something to kind of give you any sort of comfort. We do have drinkable water. Until then, until the feast starts, I'm not. And he's just sort of twiddling his own foot and sort of messing with his hands a little bit as he's trying to figure out how exactly to continue this conversation.
Aww.
You see him just sort of take his staff and he's just sort of fiddling around with the hilt and fiddling around with the top of it a bit as he's just sort of finding ways to keep his hands busy as he's talking.
Man, Willie actually kind of gives him a smile, like, sounds great, pal.
Okay. I guess if you need anything, I guess I'll be over there by Dad's pillow, just handling whatever other matters, the troops have until then.
Oh, thank you, Nalsuk.
Yeah, it's no problem. And he sort of nods and takes his leave.
Willie's gonna lean over to Puddles like, at least one of your siblings is nice.
Puddles is kind of watching him and gives a smile and a nod. She's like, yeah. I I guess he's probably prefers to be more quiet, like I tend to be.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get along just fine then.
And she smiles bigger at Willie with that.
I wouldn't know a thing about it.
She suddenly gives like a little bit of sort of a dance kind of hop, and it's like, I have a brother.
You got a brother! Look at that one! And he looks at Enzo and Olga like hype manning it. Like, look at what? She got a brother!
Yeah.
I have a brother and a father and I guess a sister. I guess. Which she says it awkwardly, but she's hopping around everybody. She's hopping around the party.
Aw.
She is quite the hop happy.
How does it feel?
She pauses and it doesn't feel real. Like, I feel really happy, but when I think about it, it's like I don't. It's kind of. I don't know. And she hops some more. I don't. It's a lot to think about. But I'm really happy.
Seems like it.
I've never had anybody before.
Well, now you got us and a family.
Puddles has so many emotions, guys.
Aw.
She's
I
grinning
love her.
so big. And she pauses.
Kisses her.
She pauses and she looks up at Nalsuk again. And there's like a little bit of longing, like she wants to go up and keep talking to him, even though that would make him really awkward.
Willie kind of leans down like, hey, how about we think of some conversation topics before you head back over there?
Gosh. I don't know what grung talk about.
You can always start with, hey, what's your favorite food? Hey, what you do around here? Hey, what's your favorite hobby?
Maybe. I think his favorite hobby's hitting things, though. I think that's what he said.
Oh. Nice. I like hitting things too, if you know what I mean.
Enzo twirls his staff a little. I understand the appeal.
Hey. Oh, you meant the other way. Yeah, still.
I didn't understand.
Oh, no.
I think Enzo even takes a second to like think about that, and then he just grins at Willie.
Man, that's fucking good. Willie's just chuckling like, I wouldn't know what it's like to have a family, but I remember feeling kind of similar when I first joined the circus.
I guess that's kind of what it's felt like being with you guys, in a way. Because I didn't really have a family either.
Aw.
So
Willie
this
looks
is-
at Olga, just like, I bet you know all about family. You got so much
Oh my
of it.
goodness. So much of it, including those who you probably normally wouldn't include. Because, you know, sometimes when you get a massive, tight-knit village, some people become your family whether you like it or not.
Puddles is suddenly very focused on Olga, and it's like, how do you family?
Well, you kind of gotta do it with others, you know? Family just gravitate towards each other when in times of need and celebration, you know? Kind of like what we're doing right now, I guess. So, in a way, this is a gateway family.
A gateway family.
I mean, there's like, direct family, extended family. Even if you don't know them, they are, you all have a reason to come together.
Puddles beams.
Oh, Olga smiles at her.
Puddles looks at Enzo because everyone shared. It's like, what about you, Enzo?
Enzo just kind of scratches his neck and said, I'm an only child, so. Shrugs a little. Don't know what it's like to have siblings, really.
Yeah, you and I both, Bal.
I don't either, but I guess I'm about to learn. She looks over at Nalsuk again. It's like, but we should probably leave him alone for now, because he probably needs a break. She's looking around.
Just looking around.
At the ground camp. What to do? What to dare do?
So you do see one of the things, three things, actually, in terms of activities that some of the other grung in the camp are doing. The first one is you see what seems to be sort of a game that they're all sort of playing. So what you see are like targets strewn about on top of like barrels or something. And each of them is, and in the center of each of those like little targets is like a bug that has been like stomped, like pinned there with like a nail or something. And each of the grung is like shooting out their tongue to see if they can get it.
Oh my gosh. Grung games, guys.
Holy shit.
They're playing games, they being silly.
The other one seems to be another game where each of them you see like gigantic poles that are all just sort of varying heights, and they're each kind of carrying like a flag. And so what they seem to be doing is trying to hop as high as they can and to then place the flag on top of the pole. Or at least, and you also see like, varying flags. You have different heights on top of the pole. And only one flag is at the top.
Can we tell whose flag it is? Like, is there any
insight.
indicator?
Or insight. Or, well, I guess investigate. Or no, perception.
Okay.
Perception would be better.
I want to roll too.
I'll roll whatever you need me to roll.
Perception, baby. Sorry.
I want to roll too.
Okay, perception, you said?
Yes.
This is so cute, guys. Oh my gosh.
That is a 20, not natural.
Whoa.
Dirty 20.
That's 16.
Dirty 20.
What about you, hun?
What did you say? Was
Perception.
perception. So 16. 19.
Okay. So Puddles and Enzo, you look up and you notice that there is a very ornamental P on that flag.
Oh.
Oh, okay. It's that, bitches. So we have to go take it down. Got it.
And just a little bit below that one, or it's actually right next to it, though the other flag seems to have been broken in two. It does have a kind of a more commonly made, seems like it was made from a patchwork cloth sort of flag that has the letters NS on it.
Okay, got it. I got it. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Question.
Yes.
Is the sounds of the camp general ambiance? Is there any music?
Well, that was the third thing I was gonna point out. Since you do see a bunch of like what seem to be like grung devil musicians. It seems like they're all kind of looking at drums and stuff, and they have no fucking idea how to use any of these things. Because you can kind of hear the general conversation from them, and they're all just sort of just talking like, well, the boss just told us to grab these things. I don't know how to play this. He's like, well, I don't know how to play this either. Well, I don't know how to play this. So I don't know how we even got this. It was from, I don't know, Purgle got him. I was like, well, okay, so how the hell do we play these? I don't know. Do we bang them?
That's so funny. Because I was sitting here thinking, why the hell do they have them if they don't know how to play them?
It's like, I don't know, Purgle somehow got him. I don't know. I was like, well, okay, well, how the fuck do we use them? I don't know. You just see them just sort of figuring it out. You see them just sort of like bopping the wrong end of a drum, them looking at like a horn and then trying to put it on their head like a hat.
Willie is wincing. He's like, oh no, I gotta help these chumps.
Okay, so you have your activities. Who wants to do the first activity?
Oh, I'll help with them.
Okay, so you want to do the musician toads, the musician grung first?
Yeah. Well, I figure V and Willie
Yeah, you and
definitely
Willie?
wanna.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do the others want to do instruments?
I'll sit out of instruments. I know what I'm doing. I
Yeah.
know what Monk Ass is doing.
OMG, Puddles could join him and be like his cheerleader. It'll be very cute and straight.
Okay, we'll go to the performers first. Okay, so you see a bunch of so Olga, Willie, you approach the performers that are kind of like, well, quote unquote performers. They're a bunch of green grung, or, well, I mean green devils, but they are, in a sense, they are just basically green grung. Just with like spiny devil sort of like pins and stuff on their back. But they're just kind of like, they're still going over the, still going over the instruments.
Willie's just gonna hold his hands out like, oh, whoa, hold on there, pals. Y'all, do y'all need some help?
Who is this? I think that's the dog. Oh.
Dog.
I mean,
The name is Willie Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful. I'm a musician by trade, you know.
oh,
I'd know how to play any of these any day of the week.
oh.
So if you're looking to learn,
And they just sort of look to each other and it's like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Let it be known that Olga did little clappies when he introduced himself as Billy Wonderful to like
Aw.
woo, yeah.
and this here, and he holds his hand over to show like Will Smith pose at Olga, just like this here is Olga Starshard. She's
She-
the general manager.
She gives Willie a little bit of a look, but she does curtsy.
She is the best manager I've ever known. After all, she's a mom of like many. Moms are the best managers.
Aw, stop.
Oh, we're so sorry. That egg horde must have been painful.
Oh, it was.
But they're like, wait, are these? Yeah, I think these weirdos are saying that they know how to use these. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Okay, yeah, we'll take your strange help.
All right then, butts. And God, Willie's obviously not going to be able to teach them like all the ins and outs, but I think he'd want to try to teach them basic like general use for like, you know, improvisation, kind of jazzy.
Basically, do what every fourth grade band kid has ever done, and pretend to know what you're playing in the background, and just kind of make random noise, hoping that
But
it
make
sounds
it
like music.
sound decent.
Yep. Performance.
Oh, y'all already know I'm about to fucking blow this shit out the water. Alright, let's see.
Meanwhile, I will have to roll their performance.
I got an 18.
They'll have advantage, so since you're helping them. So okay. So Yeah, you, with your help, at first they don't seem to really get it, but I mean, eventually, you do see them kind of making general noise that seems to be kind of working.
Yeah, he's seeing him like, now you're getting it, now you're getting it. Just remember, on the beat. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it synchronized. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Basic beat.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
No.
And he's looking at him, and then he looks at Olga like, eh? Eh?
Oh, you're doing a really good job.
Ah, I could sing to this. I don't know what I'd sing, but I'd sing to it.
Well, she gestures like, go on then.
He's gonna pull out his little mandolin to add to it all.
Aw.
This little mandolin.
He's gonna
Ooh.
play it. He's gonna
Hold
play
on, does
as
Olga
he
have an
sings.
instrument?
Ooh, does she?
Oh shit, the dog pulled out a cheese grater.
They know what a cheese grater is?
Yeah, it's called a knife.
A mandolin doesn't look like a knife.
Not with that attitude. But, yeah, you pull out your mandolin.
She doesn't have an instrument, I don't think.
Aw.
I'm not
Damn.
seeing one. But I'm gonna say that she sees one of those little, like, oh, what are they called? They're like disc shaped and they have chimes on them.
You mean,
Symbol?
Is it called the cymbal?
no.
No, a cymbal is the two things you clash together. It's the one you shake.
It's the disc. It's the round disc thing with the little tiny golden bells. It's what Esmeralda used in Hunchback.
Yeah. I don't know the name
Yeah.
of it.
Tambourine. There you go.
Tambourine, thank you.
Yep.
She picks up something like that because I imagine there's probably a bunch of instruments laying around.
Yep.
And she kind of starts dancing around and slapping it to the beat.
Willie's just gonna get that, like, yeah, there we go, we got a whole party. He plucks at his little mandolin, and then he clears his throat and he starts singing.
Yeah.
Do the grung like his music?
Well, they do. You see them just sort of whistling, just sort of like just sort of listening and just sort of nodding their head a little bit, and they're like, "This is a lot better than I thought dogs did." I just sort of assumed they howled. But I guess, well, there is such a thing as a singing dog. Is this what a singing dog is? I guess. But yeah, they're just smiling and just vibing along. Is that a fucking singing dog?
We love a singing dog.
Singing dogs. But yeah, you finish and they seem to be like, yeah, I think we pretty well figured out what we needed. Yeah, that was great.
Willie is delighted. He's like, yeah. It's been too long since I got to perform a little.
Yeah, playing a drum is absolutely like beating a skull in, except kind of better.
Aw, they're taken to it.
Nice, pal. It is really fun to hit a drum. Smack all your anger out on it.
Boom, 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 boom.
He's so happy that he got to perform again, because he hasn't really had a chance to since coming down to Avernus.
Yeah.
Puddles isn't even at the music station, but from where she is, she's clapping.
Aw.
Alright. Let's say up to the poll thing, but I think Quinn is still BRB. They have not said. Okay.
I'll add flavor text. Willie
Sure.
sings a song that is like it's very silly and it's off the top of his head, but it's like a tale of 4 heroes or some shit.
Ah, nice. Anyways, the concert went pretty well. The Grung took
Yeah.
immediate liking to it, and they praised the singing dog's talent. And now they believe Willie is a singing dog.
I mean, they're not really wrong.
And they're half right. They're half right. They'll eventually get it right. Anyways, so we will pivot to Puddles and Enzo
Yeah.
as they see the pole game. As Enzo, Puddles, as you approach that pole game, you see a bunch of Grung just sort of hopping as high as they can, but just barely sort of missing the top, and you see one just sort of leap as high as he can, and he just sort of stabs that flag into like the halfway point of the pole. And just sort of dangling there, just like, ah! Help!
Oh no!
Ah, damn it, you never... Grogzik, you always... Grogzik! Can you just catch me?
How big is this devil?
I mean, he's kind of a chunky Grung.
Oh.
Yeah, sure, we'll catch you.
Oh.
Okay!
Oh.
Let's go. Oh, well, so anyways, as I was going up to the... And then you just hear a loud...
Did anybody catch him?
Nope, they didn't even bother.
No!
Aw! I thought they were gonna, or it's
You see him
Yeah.
sort of like... Yeah.
Anyway.
So Grogzik's... I'll be fine.
Puddles actually always hurries over. He's like, "Are you okay?"
I think so. Okay, I think I'm fine. I'm just gonna be sore, I guess.
Oh, I
Yep, walk it off.
can heal you if you need it.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yep, just go ahead and walk it off, Grogzit.
Hope you feel better, Grugsit.
Yeah, okay. And you
Oh,
see this pudgy blue Grung just sort of waddle away, sort of
Aw.
limping. He is not okay.
Oh, blows
Oh.
him a kiss.
He's not, if he's obviously hurting, Puddles is going to get stubborn and she's going to follow him. She's like, "You're not hopping normal. Let me heal you."
No, it's fine.
No.
According to the philosophy of Purgle, we must keep to our wounds to gain strength.
Well, Hergel's not here, and I'm her sister, so I say I get to heal you.
Is that a thing? I mean,
yeah, that's a thing.
I don't really think I should, no, I don't think, you know what, I don't really want to cause any commotion. You know what, I think I'm already feeling okay. I think I'm already, okay, no, that was my heel. Okay, no,
Look, just sit down.
Friend, I think you'll cause more commotion if you keep telling her no.
okay, I mean, okay, persuasion.
Okay. Oh, that's a 3. She's not gonna.
Nope.
Can she have advantage since, like, I said that?
Sure,
In
go
like,
on.
helping her?
Okay.
Nope, that's a 6.
That is a 6. Nope.
Damn.
So Rogzik is just sort of like, you know what? I think no. I'll just go.
Puddles is frowning.
Enzo kind of comes over and pats her on the. Well, no, he doesn't pat her on the back. He just leads down and says, "Hey, Rome wasn't torn down in a day."
I don't like this Purgle. She seems to have a hand in everything, and she's not nice.
She seems like someone who could stand to be taken down a peg or two. And he looks up at the flag up top.
Puddles looks up at it too. She's like, you think you could make that?
Enzo grins.
So, just to give you a taste of how big that pole is, it is about the height of Thulsuk, but like
Oh.
also add half of his height on top of that.
Did Purgle fly? Did she use her wings? Did she?
Purgle, because, looks at her. It's okay, because I can cheat too.
It's like, according to Purgle, she honorably, in order to give, quote, the lower peons the chance, she swears that she bound her wings to her back.
Mm-hmm.
That is the answer you will get out of these guys if you ask them that.
Yeah, no, I believe her. She bound her wings to her back after she jumped.
Okay.
Anyways, so you see these two other Grog that are at the bottom, and they're just sort of like, poor Grog. You think it? Yeah. Well, I mean, he still has the other leg, so he's good, right? Yeah, he still has the other leg.
Puddles is miserable.
Oh, welcome. We got flags in the cup over there. I guess if you're wanting to do that, unless you got your own.
Enzo looks up and he sees the other flag. It says NS over there, and he says, I think I know what flag I want. Don't worry about it. And Dermis, can you give me a concrete number of feet tall that this pole is?
Okay, how tall exactly is a pit fiend? So he's about... Okay, so they tend to be 12 feet high, but it's also on top of that, so... Okay, so we'll say it's about 20 feet up in the air.
Oh, Dermis, this is gonna be easy. Dermis, I know what you're gonna ask of me, but I'm not gonna even have to roll for this.
Are you? Okay, so
I'm
what are you
not.
going to do? What are you going to do?
I'm not. Hey Dermis, you know how I'm a monk?
Yes, I do know the in fact that you're a monk, now that you mentioned it.
So as a monk, I have a little something called unarmored movement.
Mm-hmm.
At 9th level, I gained the ability to move along vertical surfaces without falling during the move.
Is that jumping though?
That's not jumping, but
No,
it's
what he's suggesting
it's
is-
running up a pole.
It's literally
That's
taking the
only
pole,
12 feet.
run.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's
that-
only 12 feet. I have 45 feet of movement, Derm.
Yeah, but it also
Grug
does
can
not...
climb.
Grung can climb, and you're gonna have to convince those guys that walking up the pole is acceptable, because this is a jumping contest.
Puddles' natural vertical leap is 15.
Jesus, Puddles!
Puddles' standing leap vertically is 15. Just as her being a grung.
Okay. So you naturally can jump pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean...
Give me an actual, rundown of the thingy. What the pole is, what it looks like, and how...
So you know that pole in
how you're
Mulan?
supposed to do it. Yeah, okay.
So it's like that pole in Mulan, except, it's... Obviously these flags have, a point at the end of the bottom of them, and you can stick it into that pole. Kind of
Okay.
stab it in. So...
I have an idea.
So they're not climbing. They are the goal
Is
is
to
to
jump
once as high as you can.
Jump as high as you can, and then just sort of, with your arm, just sort of stab it
What?
into the pole.
What do you think
Oh,
Puddles
okay.
could get away with? Getting on the pole, kind of running up the pole a little bit, so it turns into a horizontal leap.
You mean, okay, so running up the pole, then using...
Just to get the momentum, so she can turn it into a horizontal leap. And use her muscles that way.
You're gonna have to use a sleight of hand, because they are kind of expecting you to just... You can take a running start, But they are expecting
Well,
you
if
from
you've
the
got-
ground up into the air, stab.
If you've got a vertical leap of 15 already, you've got it.
That's true.
Oh wait, it's 20 feet.
It is 20,
Never mind.
so you'll be shy 5.
5, yeah. What would I roll? So her horizontal is 25,
Mm-hmm.
and her vertical is 15. Is
Mhm.
there a way to... I don't know if getting a running start would help her vertical leap. I don't know the mechanics of how that would work.
I guess that would be just kind of taking a dash action and then just sort of jumping with that momentum. I guess.
Would I need to roll to see if any of the horizontal extra stuff can be added to her vertical leap to...
I guess, you know what, I'm just going to boggle this down to simplicity and just make it just sort of... Since you're not... I would count this as pure acrobatics. So, I guess I would bog this down to just an acrobatics check.
So I'm going to say if she rolls low, her minimum is the 15.
Yep, if you roll low, then you are getting up to about the 15.
Okay. Does Enzo want in on this? Are you going to still try, Enzo?
No, not if Puzzle's gonna do it.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Puddles.
Okay.
Pass without a trace, just to be safe.
Actually, yeah, I mean, because you're still doing something. Are you still doing something sneaky?
I guess she could. She does have Pass Without a Trace on her still, doesn't she?
I think it'd be cool if she actually got it without cheating, though. Just saying.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
was-
yeah, do what you want. I don't think, if it's a sleight of hand anyway, I don't think my thing will help. So.
She wouldn't think to cheat anyway.
In any case, go ahead and roll acrobatics.
Okay. What is her acrobatics? Okay. Okay, dice. That's 12 plus 3. 15?
So you get up to about 17 feet with that.
How?
So
So
that's...
she's nowhere near the rest
So
of
you're nowhere near the top where Purgle was. So you kind of jump in there, you take a run, you jump in there as high as you can, and then... Nope, you're about 3 feet away from getting to that top.
Fuck Purgle, she cheated. Cheat on her. Cheat with her. Cheat against her.
So
Fuck
now
her.
you're just kind of dangling.
She looks down, it's like, I've never jumped this high before! She's actually pleased with herself.
So they're just sort of looking up, it's like... Is she gonna... Do we just allow her to jump down, or... Well, wait, this is the boss's daughter, isn't it? Yeah.
She should be able to just land since her standing leap is 15.
Yeah, so you can just sort of let go. So,
Yeah.
you let go.
She also she has the feather fall ring, so she actually floats down.
Oh yeah, I forgot you have feather fall. So you just... Yeah, you're fine.
she hops up her Enzo. She's like, that was actually fun. I'm tempted to do it again.
Enzo smells and says, "Hey, we got all day." And I still see Purgle's flag up there, so
That's true.
go for it.
Because Purple cheated. Okay, and so, acrobatics.
Oh, I'm not doing it because Puddles wanted to do it.
Oh, Puddles on to do
Puddles gets a second try.
it. Okay.
Is Enzo not gonna try at all? Is he?
Oh no, because he doesn't want to take that from Puddles if she's doing it, and you can actually jump it. I can't do the thing.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. No, not as good. No.
Well, how did you do?
No.
Oh, that's 2.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Give me a moment.
Okay.
So with that 2, all that would do is you...
I'm gonna bullshit something.
Okay.
Willie was playing the music.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Oh.
bardic inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Bardic inspiration. The creature gains 1 bardic inspiration die, a d8, Within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll the die and add the number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes. So basically,
I can roll,
roll
a
an
D8.
extra D8 on
For
top
that-
of your D20 roll.
For the one I did before, or...
Well, I guess a new one, because I can allow you to do it a third time.
Okay.
Willie's playing hype music. I need a hero.
Oh, please
I
be a
want
good
it up
roll.
for a hero till the end of the night.
That's another 12, so that's 15 again.
But roll the d8.
And then, yeah,
D8.
add whatever you get from the D8 to it.
So that is this one?
That's the weird diamond.
An 8!
Oh.
Let's go!
So she botches it, and she probably feels embarrassed by that.
Well, at the
And-
second attempt, but then with the third attempt.
She gets really determined, and she's listening to Willie's music, and she kind of like amps herself up and does this sort of little hopping prep, and just and then just goes as hard as she can.
Okay, and then with the inspiration die, you are able to jump into the air, and you see that you are going higher than the first flag that you stabbed. And higher. And as you are just able to stab your flag right in between Nulsooks and Purples. Just in between them.
Purgles is impossible to reach. Even with what would it be, 15 plus 8?
Okay, well now, then since you did do that, now I'm gonna have to do a thing. Okay.
Even still, she's a threat.
Okay. So roll a, let's see what skill she got.
What you need?
You're gonna have to give me Constitution saving throw. You're gonna have to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's another 2. I'm just stuck on 2s and 12s and stuff right now.
Okay. You do kind of feel that as you stab the flag in there, though,
Uh-huh.
you feel a force coming from Purgle's flag immediately push you down.
Oh.
Just with a slight little, you feel a slight little energy push as it just sort of, it just sort of pushes and shoots you back into the earth.
Like where she shoots down hard.
Yep, someone's gonna need to catch her.
Did she get her flag in at all?
The flag is still up there, but now you're just being pushed.
Oh no.
I'll catch her.
Okie doke. So, and I'm not going to have you, because you're pretty close by anyway. So, as you fall and are careening into the ground, or towards the ground, you see Enzo hold out his hands as, you know, he catches you kind of bridal style as you just, as he holds still. He holds his legs still as you land in his arms.
She actually clings to him because she was very alarmed there for a second. Like, what was that?
And so it was just like, hey, I gotcha. You did good, Puddles.
She slowly realizes the position she's in. And she looks up at Enzo.
He's just smiling at her.
She turns beet red. And are they... Okay, I gotta ask. Are they touching skin to skin at all? Because that's important.
I don't know. That depends on what she's wearing.
Is she wearing...
She's in her, I'll show the picture again. She's not hooded up right now.
Oh, she has bare hands.
She's got bare hands, bare head.
And Enzo tends to wear no sleeves.
Enzo has no sleeves, baby.
Okay. Alright. So, yeah. You see as you're kind of holding up, your hand is in contact with Enzo's upper arm. very clearly.
So she was beet red, and then she realizes that as she's staring at it, and her hand actually like grips his arm really tightly, and she looks up at him, and she looks at her where they're touching, and like back and forth, and then kind of like sort of scrambles to try to get out of his hold.
Yeah.
He actually, like, when she grips his arm so tight, he looks at her concerned, because he's like, what? Like, are you good? And then if she starts trying to scramble out, he will just put her down.
Yeah.
And he'll say, everything alright? Are you okay, Puddles?
Are you okay?
And so tilts his head, yes? Why wouldn't I be?
And in fact, it confirms it, because he doesn't have the strange look in his eye. He doesn't have any sweat coming down his face. He seems perfectly normal to you, Puddles.
And like she shouldn't be surprised. She's seen how he hit Namus. She's seen him shake hands with Grung and high five Grung, but it's still like something about her touching him. But she's staring at him. She's just staring at him for a moment, and her eyes get really wide, and she looks up down at her hand that was touching his, and then back up at him, and slowly she turns beet red. And she's like, oh. Oh. When did this happen?
And so it's just like, he's trying to read Puddles, but he's not getting it. He's just like, when did what happen, Puddles?
And so, I'm poisonous.
And then he's like, and he just laughs, and he says, well, I've been a monk for a very long time, and there are certain tricks they've taught us. Some of them I didn't keep up as well as I should have, as you've seen before, but I don't like falling for the same thing twice. You don't have to worry about that.
She's still bright red, but she's just kind of staring at him and like trying to process this.
He holds out a hand for her, like, you know, to take as like, hey, you want to confirm again? I'll hold your hand. Like, hey. He won't take her hand, but he'll hold his hand out for her.
She starts approaching it very slowly, like a stray cat scared to be pet for the first time. And she extends her hand, and she's it's almost like Enzo's the one who's dangerous, as she very, like, almost with a shaking hand reaches out and puts her hand in his, and then slowly closes it around his fingers as well as she can with her little hand.
Mm-hmm.
And she stares at it.
I'll say he does the same. He like closes his hand around hers, and then just kind of like rubs a thumb over like the back of her hand. Like, see? No problems.
That actually gives her a little bit of a shiver, because she's not used to physical contact. And she kind of looks up at him warily, and then back down at the hand. And she gives this sort of kind of crooked smile and this sort of weird sort of choked laugh. And then she has to sort of wipe her eyes because they start tearing up.
Oh, bless her heart. He was smiling, but it falls a little when she starts to cry. He's like, is everything okay?
this is silly. I was just hugging my dad and shaking my brother's hand. I don't know why this matters so much.
Oh. He puts his other hand over hers and bats it a little and he says, "Hey, it's been a lot today. It's okay."
She's super beet red again.
But he will gently, like, unless she seems really intent to keep holding his hand, he will, like, gently, like, let go and pull back.
She lets him, but she watches his hands. And she kind of, it takes her a moment to let her hands drop. Like, she's reaching after them briefly before she lets her hands drop. And then she kind of covers her very blushed face.
She's so cute. But he straightens up, because I imagine he was kind of like knelt down after he'd set her down. But he straightens up and he looks back up at the pole and he says, "Well, you did pretty good there, Puddles."
Puddles has to now recover from that to continue the conversation properly. She's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, actually, so there's something up there that pushed me down. I bet I could have made it."
He tilts his head. "Something up there?"
Like a force. I guess magic.
He looks up, just kind of like with a Pose silly. That's called gravity. He says, "Well, that's not good. That's not very fair at all." Because he's already, like, got in his mind, he knows what is up. And I don't really care about doing this fairly now, so they can be mad at me for how I do it. I would like to just kind of, like, take a step back and literally just run up the pole all the way to Purgle's flag to try and, like, tear it off.
Oh, heck yeah, do it. Oh, he's gonna tear it off!
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Flag.
Okay. So as you do that, and I'm just gonna say that you're just doing that, right? You're just whole hog running up there.
I'm just running. I'm not trying to jump. I'm not trying to do this
You're not
fairly.
trying to grab the flag. So yeah, so you do that, and the two frogs are like, "Hey, wait! You forgot your flag, and you're not supposed to." And you just probably just ignoring them as you just continue just walking up there, ninja style, just kind of.
Not walking, running.
Just
fucking full speed.
Just ninja running, just right up the damn thing.
Yeah.
Dodging every.
Don't get my flag. Don't worry about it.
No,
I'm
okay.
gonna get it.
Okay, so you get to the top in no time flat at all, and you see in front of you you see in front of you the three flags. The one broken flag of Nalsuk, the still intact flag of Puddles, which is still standing there, and then Purgle's pristine red flag.
Yeah. I just want to grab that red flag and fucking tear it down.
Cool, make a con save.
Oh.
I can. I will.
You realize if you tear it down, Puddles will be at the top.
I know. I'm fine with that.
We're about to make some enemies today, Enzo.
Hey, Durham.
Yes.
Guess who rolled a natural 20?
Oh
Total of 22.
So, okay, so with that, you do kind of, so you're looking up and you start to feel a little bit of a force coming from the flag. And indeed, much like you had theorized, as you go to grab, especially since you're grabbing Purgle's flag, you see little blue runes start to glow a little bit from, like, the flag's pole, from the flag's stem. You know, from the flag's stick. as those blue runes starts to climb up, they activate, and it tries to push you right off with like force, full moving. But you're still holding on. Like, you basically kind of just take your claws, dig them deep into the pole as it tries to push you off. And with all your strength, you just pull, and you just are finally able to just pluck it right off. Just like a stubborn carrot from in a garden. Just pull it right out. And the minute you pull it out, the force begins to stop, and you feel a tug, because as it's a force finally releasing itself, essentially. But yep, you still have Purgle's flag in hand, and you're a little winded, but you're otherwise kind of fine.
Yeah! Puddles is cheering down there. Yeah, Enzo, you did it!
Am I still at the top or am I down?
No, you're still at the top. You are still at the top.
You do not have Featherfall.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just run back down. But if I'm still at the top, before I do that, I'll... Okay. Kisses Puddles.
Okay.
Love you.
Yeah.
Would love for you to be at the top, but also, I don't want to be the one to put you at the top. I want you to do that on your own merits, baby. Nalstoke needs this win, though. I'm gonna take his flag and go ahead and put it on top while I'm there.
Aww.
So, I mean, you do see that his flag is on top, but the stem was broken in half. So his flag is just kind of sadly just sort of on the thing there, but, you know, you figured, okay, this is easy enough. You kind of just take some twine in your pocket or something, and you begin to just kind of rope and tie the two sticks together, essentially. Roughly sort of putting them back up.
Hell yeah. And then I'll run back down as if nothing happened, and I'll wave Purgle's little flag like, alright, I got my flag! I'll look down at the grung like, did I do it right? With a big shitty grin.
Oh boy. Puddles is grinning. She's like, that was really sweet, Enzo. Because she saw what he did with her. She saw what he did with Nalstoke's flag. Uh-oh.
Okay, and so, as you have that shit-eating grin on your face holding that, just a... You see a big, blackened, with a ring hand sort of touch your shoulder.
Oh.
Congratulations.
She gonna reach me all the way down there, huh?
No, she just sort of appeared. Like Dragon Ball Z instant transmission appeared behind you.
God, I'm 6'3".
Yeah, and she's just
only
floating.
4 feet.
And she's floating. She's just floating.
Teleport's behind you.
Yeah, teleports behind you. Yeah, and she's literally just kind of floating. Congratulations.
Enzo just looks behind him and smiles, and he waves her little flag again where she can see it. Like, look, Purgle, I made it to the top. That's the name of the game, right? Get the flag at the top, capture the flag. I've played this before.
And she's still just kind of giving you that sickly sort of smile.
Okay, I keep smiling back. Fucker.
Puddles is eyeing the situation warily.
Okay. Let's see what an Onizu can do.
I can make this worse.
What's an Omnizu do?
if she's just gonna keep smiling and not really like do anything else yet, Enzo will kind of keep twirling the flag in his hand, and then he'll quickly bend it in a way that the stem of it breaks. like he played with it too much
Oh my god.
and broke it.
Oh my
and be
gosh,
like-
Enzo!
And he's just like, oh, whoops,
Oh my god!
my mistake.
Oh, okay.
And he's still smiling.
Still smiling, huh? Okay.
Go ahead, kill me, Durham. It's fine.
Well, I mean, maybe not kill, but I mean, well,
I'm immune to poison. What are you gonna do?
there's actually quite a lot on these.
Omnizu are actually terrifying.
Go ahead.
Okay, on Nizu. Okay, cool. So with her spell casting, she's just going to cast Forgetfulness.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh no,
okay,
he's gonna
so
forget.
go ahead and make a DC 18 intelligence test.
Just him or both of us?
Let me see. And it's only target one creature, so it is only Enzo.
Oh.
So go ahead and do an intelligence test.
I got a 17.
Is that good enough?
Does my ring factor into this?
Does the ring factor?
Let me see. It has to be. It's not telekinetic. It's more a spell.
Oh.
But my mind is protected.
No.
Well, let me see what the mind ring. Let me see what the mind ring does.
It says, while wearing this ring, you're immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you're lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it. So, I mean, but like,
They're not
my mind
deleting.
is shielded.
But it is. Only if you allow it. Okay, it becomes visible. Blah blah blah. You die while wearing this. Okay. So to read thoughts, determine whether you are lying. Stunned creature repeats the saving throw until the end of the turn, ending the effect. If the target is stunned for a full minute, it forgets everything it sensed, experienced, learned. So it isn't technically reading, it's more like a memory thing. So, okay, unfortunately it does go through. So Purgle just sort of like, he looks at you, or it's like, she looks at you and is just sort of like, dear, I don't think you quite know what you're talking about. And you just sort of feel just a pull from your head. Just a... And as she just sort of gently takes the flag. And puts it into her robe. Now, dear, I don't really quite think you know what you're talking about. Now, clearly, due to your recklessness and carelessness when climbing up that pole, you undoubtedly shook this flag. Which, shameful of you, by the way. Shameful of you. And she just puts it away. So due to the forgetfulness, that means Enzo has just forgotten everything he sensed and experienced from the last 5 hours.
5 hours!
What was the last 5 hours? Like, what happened?
So you know, that's basically from the moment you entered the camp.
We've been at the camp for 5 hours?
I guess they, yeah, because it did take a while for you to travel to the camp. So I'll say
So, was it before or after the Thalsuk fight?
after. So he remembers defeating Thulsuk. That's it.
Okay. Thank Frick for that. Yeah, I think Enzo is just kind of like, just sort of blinks, and in that case, he looks around like unsure about anything that's happening right now, and he looks down at Puddles and is like, he doesn't react too much, or he tries not to, but it is clear that he is like suddenly like, we were in a different place just a second ago, and now I am here, and this person is talking to me about how I did some shameful thing to shake a flag loose, and he catches himself in that way, like when he processes that and processes that they're doing that, he just smiles a little and says, oops, and shrugs, because he doesn't really care, and steps over to Puddles, steps closer to Puddles, and kind of tries to get a read for everything else that's happening, because he's trying not to visibly freak out in front of all these strangers.
Can Puddles discern that he seems confused?
Insight, baby.
Oh, please, dice. You've been rolling so poorly. Yeah, that's a 3. That's a 3.
No, it isn't.
Oh, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, she's got a high insight. Wait, what just happened? Are you playing with my dice?
Okay, so it's 13 plus 10.
Uh-huh.
So, that's enough. Yep, you definitely know for a fact that his memory was fucked with. You can tell by the blinking of his eyes, the weird sort of placement that he doesn't really quite know where he is right now. You just sort of notice that, yeah, a chunk of his memory just sort of went away.
Puddles. She's staring at him, and she looks at Purgle, and she looks at him, and she just kind of hugs Enzo's leg, and she bares her teeth, like, very aggressively at Purgle, and is like, "What did you do?"
And she just sort of floats down slowly and just sort of leans forward.
Did what, dearie?
You know what you did.
And you certainly seem to think you know what I did, though I don't believe you quite have the proof for it.
Looks at everyone else here, but also, I don't know.
I don't
But
care about a flag. You mess with his head.
Did I?
And she just smiles sickly at you.
She is all teeth. She is just as bristled as a little frog can be. Don't you dare touch my friends.
It's cute that you think you are so big, little sister.
You haven't earned the right to call me sister yet.
Oh, trust me, dearie. The feeling is mutual.
It throws her off a little bit. She's still frowning, but now her eyes are like... The anger is, like, mixed with confusion now. Just utter confusion.
Anywho, don't worry. I'll go ahead and fix this little bitty mistake that your friend did. No harm, no foul. Go along, dear. I'm sure Father has already finished the meal for you all.
So she just sort of flies up and just sort of like flies up, plucks Null Sook's flag off, just sort of like, ugh. Huh, that's funny. Just throws it to the ground.
Yeah, I see. She has to fly again. It's a squint.
And just stabs her flag back to the top.
Olga and Willie point and laugh at her how she has to fly. They laugh really loud. Everybody look, she's a loser.
Enzo doesn't remember the rules, but he squints at that like, I'm gonna assume I had a reason to do that, I guess.
Puddles actually...
If I did that.
So Puddles has been spat at by 2 grung. It's her turn. She actually spits on the ground and, like, snarls almost. What a child.
And she just slowly floats down from the top of the pole, with her hands extended out sort of like a countess just entering a ball. As she just sort of looks to you, just with another sick smile, and just sort of bows. As she then heads off to the off to the table.
Now that that's fixed, fix Enzo!
Fix what exactly? Your friend seems perfectly fine.
Enzo... Fucking... the Enzo squints and growls a little.
Seems like he has the energy to me, darling.
Seems like he's perfectly fine to me. Perfectly within his faculties. Well, as much faculties as can be fitted into such a head.
Oh.
Clicks his tongue like, I suppose it's just normal for me to be missing the gap of memory then.
Oh, slippery fingers and all that, dear. Everyone has it. Don't worry your pretty little head on that.
Uh-huh.
I'm so scared she's about to cast a spell on Puddles.
Anyways, she just floats off back to the table.
Oh, Puddles is hugging Enzo's leg. Enzo doesn't remember them holding hands, but
He doesn't!
But she's just clinging to him now. No hesitations. Skin to skin and don't care. She don't care.
Enzo will, like, kneel down, and he... She might be hugging his foot, though, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna put his hand on her like he would have if he remembered what they just did a second ago!
Well, did he kneel down, you said?
You kneel down.
He knelt down, yeah.
She reaches out and she holds his face. And she's just looking him in the eyes and tearing up. And she's like, are you okay?
He's kind of shocked that, like, she is grabbing his face, and, like, his expression shows that. He just is, yeah, I'm alright, Puddles. I just don't remember anything that happened after we fought the big guy. But I am fine. Whatever happened hasn't affected anything else, I don't believe. Are you okay? Who the hell was that?
Oh, her face contorts with, like, just misery hearing that. But when he asks that, it hardens again into just absolute rage. And she's just snarling practically. She's like, my sister, apparently.
So he, like, that's Barful.
That's Barful.
Her name is Barf.
It was Purple Barf Shirt. He raises an eyebrow.
Hot face, that's her name. She wouldn't do that because Enzo could get hurt.
He raises an eyebrow Like, you have a sister?
I have a. You know what? No, I don't. I do have a brother and a father, but I do not accept her.
Enzo, laughs a little and says, well, I don't blame you. People like her would make me pretty happy. I was an only child. He says, offering information like he didn't offer it a little bit ago.
Oh. she's miserable, and she just hugs him, and she's like, I'm so sorry that you got caught up in something like that, and this happened, and I feel like it's my fault, even though I've never met any of these grung before.
Enzo will like hug her back, and he'll just say, "Hey, calm down. It's okay. It kind of sounds like whatever happened, I brought it on myself by being a little shit. So
You just took a flag. She points up at the flag. She's like, it's a flag game. Jump up and put up a flag. That's it. She wiped your mind for that.
He looks up the flag and blinks, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's pretty petty."
We should leave.
Sounds like something someone named Bart Sharp would do in that tracks.
We should leave. We should. She pulls away from Enzo, and she's like grabbing his hand and trying to pull him along, even though she's so much smaller than him.
He says, Puddles, wait, don't you want me to get the flag again? and smiles a little. He's trying to make this lighthearted.
Puddles gives Enzo a look like that is the least funny thing I have ever heard in my entire life. That is the stare she gives him.
Do it again. It's time to do a kickflip. It's like, you're right. I'm sorry.
I mean, what the hell is she gonna do? Remove his memory again? That'll be too much. That'd give it away.
What? She probably got a limit on that. Whatever the fuck she did.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. She's not worth it. And she's tugging at Enzo. Come on, we're getting everyone else. We're leaving. I don't care.
Enzo will make her with spell slots on petty
Oh,
shit.
I bet Fulsuk won't be happy to hear that one of the daughters drove away the other one.
Oh, yeah. Especially the favorite one. But Enzo does just... He tried to make a joke. It didn't work. So he just nods and he says, right. If you insist, we will go. Because just know what the fuck is happening still. So he just stands up and he follows Puddles wherever she's going.
Yep. Whining cat. Sorry, funny cat. But also. Okay. There's me crying. Anyways. So yeah, you take Enzo over to Olga. I suppose you're taking them over to Olga and Willie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so you see Puddles dragging Enzo over.
Holding his hand. So he's probably
Willie
having to
sees
sort of crouch
first
over.
he's smiling.
And
Yeah, Willie sees the hand holding, and at first he smiles, but then he sees Puddles' expression. He's like, his face drops, like, oh, well, shoot, the hell happened?
We're leaving.
God. Enzo doing his best not to say, I don't remember.
It'd be funny if he did.
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah. If Puddles doesn't say anything immediately, he'll just kind of smile and be like, well, I'd love to tell you, but can't quite remember.
Just raises an eyebrow at that, like, what? Looks at Puddles for an answer.
Puddles is like still snarling. You've never seen her like this consistently ticked off. like, well, I guess she's been angry, but like it's like a deeper anger. She's just like, we're leaving. We're not staying here. I don't care.
Well, shit, what the hell happened?
Oh, we didn't eat yet.
We won the flag game, and he had his memory wiped for it.
Memory
What?
wiped.
Was that the prize?
No.
I sure hope not.
Shitty prize.
But that's a pretty
No,
bad
just
prize.
stares at
Listen,
Olga.
there have been prizes like that in my town. Sometimes you don't want to remember stuff.
I'm gonna assume I didn't agree to it.
Hmm.
No, we ticked off the previous winner. Guess who it was?
Was it
Let me-
winning?
Let me guess, it was that cunt, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Willie,
My sister.
perfectly
apparently.
honest language.
What? What did Olga say?
Just be careful.
I said, really, perfectly honest language.
And so grins and says, I mean, the more I hear about it, the more I don't really regret doing it.
How much?
Well,
do you
hold
remember?
on, Puddles, hold on. Don't let her ruin everything here. Something tells me that with everything going on like this, Full Sook wouldn't necessarily be happy to hear what she did. Especially considering how much it's upset you,
She's
someone who he's really wanted to meet for so long.
She sure did press as she left how much I don't have proof of this.
Okay, so what the hell else is gonna explain the gap in the memory?
Her hand is in everything here. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed she controls everything here? You think it'd be easy to pin something on her?
Well, he wouldn't have a reason to believe that you're just blaming her for nothing.
She kind of huffs, and she looks at Enzo, and she just gestures angrily to Enzo. It's like, this happened because Flag. What's gonna happen when we try to get her in trouble?
Fair enough. You know what? No, you don't. Family or not, you met these guys today. And as nice as it would be to make a big toast and whatnot, you're right. We have every right to leave, and it's your choice.
Yeah.
And you've still got us, no matter what.
I
So-
do still have you, and I don't want anything to happen to you. You're like you said with the circus. Circus is your family. You guys are my family.
On that note, you do hear a horn cry off and a bell that sort of signifies the feast is ready. And approaching your group is the purple grung. Just sort of like so long to travel. Okay,
Oh.
the dinner is ready. As per the request of the great Thulsuk.
Willie's gonna look at Puddles.
Puddles. I'm not gonna lie. Puddles actually looks conflicted when they're like suddenly having to face it here. But she looks at everyone else, and she turns back to the grung and says, I don't think we're hungry, actually.
He's sort of pulling his collar a bit, just sort of like, I suppose I will go inform Thulsuk as such. And so he very reluctantly does.
Oh, I hope he lives.
Oh no.
And so he
Willie's just gonna offer his hand to Puddles, like, in support, like a hey.
Puddles takes it. And squeezes it tight. Just, like, clings to it in a tight squeeze.
So upon doing that, and And I will go ahead and roll.
Oh, this is not going how I expected.
Nope. Okay, so you see that purple grung immediately gets thrown head first into the pole that the game was on. As you hear just a bone cracking smack as his head just sort of collides with the pole.
I worked so hard to design him and make him look cool.
And you just sort of hear a bellowing, just sort of, "Where is she?"
Puddles?
Enzo kind of like steps in front of Puddles a little bit, hearing Thulsulk react that way.
Yeah, Willie's gonna step forward a little bit too, while still holding her hand, like just a reminder of like, you do not have to face this alone.
Yeah, Puddles looks terrified, but for once she's not cowering. She's actually still trying to stand tall and hold her head high, ready to face what she's decided to do.
Well, good.
What
is
Looks
the-
at her
like-
too.
Just looks at her like, hey, if he asks why we're doing this, you can just tell him straight up. Ask your daughter.
And you see Thulsuk about to get up with his big cane, and he's getting huffy and angry about it. But you see Nulsuk sort of just fly in front of him with his hands out, just sort of like, hey, just, okay, calm down, hey, calm down. Okay, and you can hear him just sort of like, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment to talk to them. Okay, just sit down.
Gosh.
Okay, just go back to the seat and let me talk to them, okay? And you see Thulsuk sort of just reluctantly sort of walk back to his cushion. It'll be a minute.
It
kind
really
of.
does feel like family drama, doesn't it?
And you see him convince Thulsuk to sort of go back to his cushion as Nulsuk sort of just flies over. And it's just sort of like, okay, so I'm guessing you might have told you told the bishop something that he didn't want to hear. I'm guessing.
He's gonna look at Puddles and see if Puddles speaks out first.
Yeah. And Puddles does say, I'm so sorry that he had to die because of what I said.
Well, I mean, he kind of looks over.
Is he alive?
I think so.
Puddles rushes over.
Well, okay.
Puddles is rushing over to heal him.
While Puddles does that, can Willie try to fill in Nulsuk?
Sure. Puddles. You see Puddles immediately run over and try to use magic to heal.
Yeah. He's gonna look at Nulsuk just like, look, pal, you're a great guy, and Puddles is touched to have met a family. Met you, met Nulsuk, all that. Problem is, we ain't exactly touched to meet Purgle. And she's made enough of a point that, long as she's around, Puddles ain't gonna be welcome in this family, not in the way she deserves. We're leaving.
And Nulsuk,
Enjoy your dinner.
Oh.
And Nulsuk sort of just squints his face a little bit at that. It's just sort of like, wait. What exactly did she do?
Over a very petty thing, motions Tenzo. Apparently mind wiped our friend. He doesn't remember. Well, how much don't you remember?
Enzo scratches his neck. Well, you're fighting the big guy. Thulsuk, I guess. Then I was not. Enzo also looks at Nulsuk and holds out a hand. Enzo Whiptail, by the way, at your service.
Oh, she did that. Okay.
is your take on hospitality involving mind wipes regularly? Because I think that's why we're nervous on staying.
Hmm. Look,
Look.
if I guess you first.
Look, I'm not gonna speak for Puddles here, but I think she'd agree that as long as Purgle's got her nasty little claws in all the business here, that Puddles ain't gonna want to stay no matter what. And that's fine. You don't gotta change everything that you have set up just for Puddles. She's. And he glances over at where she's healing. I think she's happy with the family she already has.
He sort of glares a little bit at that, but so you said Purgle did all this.
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. What if I were to offer your group protection personally?
Just gonna raise a brow at that, just like, how do you mean?
She might be willing to do it to any old stranger, but she wouldn't dare pull any of that while I'm around.
He's gonna glance back at Puddles like, well, sounds nice, but I'm gonna have to let her decide. It's her family matters.
And on that sort of note, eventually Puddles does sort of hop back as she comes back with the bishop, and the bishop seems, although a little dizzy, basically fine.
She keeps apologizing to him as they head back over.
It's fine. I'm fine. It's not the first time he's thrown.
Oh.
I suppose I will go back to the feast before the meal runs out.
Yeah, you do that. Maybe lay low for a little bit.
So your companions just caught me up a little bit. Our sister tried to pull that trick, didn't she? And succeeded from the looks of your friend.
Puddle stiffens at first when he starts to bring it up, and then realizes he doesn't seem to disbelieve them. And she just gives a sort of sorrowful nod.
It wouldn't be the first time she's pulled that.
Why does she have so much control over everything? She's this awful.
Who's Lilo? It's okay. I'm not certain. It's whatever gifts she got getting to the level she's at. I'm not familiar with how Omnizood work. However, I know for a fact that she can't pull any of that when I'm around. Due to one very simple reason. And he holds out the necklace that he's wearing. Because she represents her boss, and I represent mine.
Ah, devil politics.
And if she were to do anything in front of me that I would find displeasing, it would also displease my boss, if you catch my drift.
Should I roll to see if Puddles recognizes?
Religion.
That's a 1.
Little confused.
That's a 1, honey.
Yeah, you have no idea. You've never seen that before in your life. And he sort of looks at your face and he notices your confusion. He's just sort of like, Okay, that's fair. This is a rather old necklace. I made my pact with Tiamat.
Hey, I'm a girl from her.
Yeah. Puddles sure immediately is
Oh,
thinking
shit.
about her thing.
I think I still have that.
You got some shit for her.
Yeah. In Puddle's mind, she's like, should we offer that immediately, or is now a bad time?
But that means I know for damn sure that Asmodeus wouldn't want to get into a tuffle with Tiamat. That would be the last thing that he would want. So for her to do anything to me would be... well, it wouldn't end well. It would be seen as an attack on Tiamat. So just...
Is there any way she could restore memories she took?
For an Avashi... like, you mean for Perkle to do such?
Yeah.
Attack on Tiamat, my favorite.
Puddles kind of snarls. It's like, I don't know if I trust her to do any more spells.
And she wouldn't really have the minds to do that herself anyway. She'd have no obligation to do so. But what I am offering is at least protection. If you're around me, then she can't do anything, at least not without me noticing.
Puddles actually does reach into her pocket and she says, okay, if you work for Tiamat, though, I have to give this to you in good conscience because I haven't known what to do with it.
His eyes grow wide. How the fuck did you get that?
We, in the mortal world, we found it. My church told me to put holy water on it to stay safe, but...
Well, that explains why I didn't immediately sense it.
But I don't need it, I've just been holding on to it.
He sort of takes the spear onto the side of his own arm, just sort of makes a quick cut. Ah! Splatters blood a little bit on it. Okay. If anyone asks, or if Tiamat asks, I took this from a thief's corpse. I took it from a thief's corpse. And it was through a tussle, but I was able to rip it from that corpse. Okay? Is that what everyone understands? You didn't hold... I took this from a marauder. I took this from a marauder's hand, that's where I got it.
Olga sighs dramatically, and she's like, so nobody else can, in her favor, return something?
I'm doing you a favor, because if she finds out that you took it,
It wasn't
she'll
a
either
place that belonged to Tiamat.
she will either order me to kill you, or she will kill you.
She crosses her arms. There is no taking. We intended to bring it back to her.
She is not going to interpret that as that. Trust me.
Our gods were smarter than that.
It's not a matter of intelligence, it's a matter of just pure pettiness. You'd be surprised how much is run by pure pettiness down here.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
Trust me, it's real fucking annoying. I mean, you can try if you think your tongues are silver enough to do it, but this is the easiest.
I've got a silver tongue. I could work it on her. More ways than one.
Well, that's all I've got.
Please
so...
don't say that about the mother of traumatic dragons.
Yeah. Oh, that went over Puddle's head. She pauses when her brother says something. Gives Willie a look.
Okay, in any case, with at least...
And so should we give back our stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we want to try with the crown. I was gonna give it back, but everyone kept talking.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do we want to save something to talk to Tiamat later, or?
That's up to you guys.
You know what? I can't think of a way to use it. So Olga with a scoff, agreeing about the pettiness, hands him the dagger. He's like, well, that wasn't the only thing we ended up with, without intending to steal it, but intending to bring it back. We had nothing to do with this, I guess.
Yeah, Enzo will take the crown out of his bag, like, I guess I should also give this back.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, off his head, you're right, because he's been wearing it this whole time. He has not been wearing it this whole time, but, like, also he's been wearing it this whole time.
Oh, we bit him. Oh no. Sorry, we got distracted because Hobbs was grooming Calvin.
Oh, damn it.
But then Eric, Dermis went to take
Film
a
it.
picture and
Yeah.
Hobbs bit Calvin.
Oh.
Aw.
Hobbs is a bitch.
Hobbs is a bitch. Sorry about that brief thing. But anyways, so Nalsuk, he takes the treasures, and it's just he's just like, okay, just gonna. He just puts them in his satchel. He's like, okay, good. He's just like, okay, I'll give this a good mess bath just to make it look like I got this in a tussle.
Thank you.
In fact, if I can, I might be able to spin it to her to make it to where it was you who got it, maybe.
Oh, we don't need to be involved in this.
I don't mind being involved in this.
In any case, thank you.
No problem. You're actually saving us some work
And
to get to her.
and actually, you wouldn't happen to have any other treasures I should know about?
Did I get the gems from it?
Nope.
I think that's it.
I think. Hang on, let me check my shit. Oh yeah, she lets him know. You know that thing was broken when I got it. I got it repaired for you.
Okay.
He just watches them all go through their stuff really quick.
I think that's. I don't think I have anything else of hers.
Okay. Good. But in any case, I guess back to the business of my father. Look, just come to the dinner and stick close to me. That goes for all of you. If you stick close to me, she isn't going to try anything. At least not without me noticing. Just stay for one dinner, hear Dad out, and then leave.
Puddles nods.
Well, if Puddles is comfortable with that, then I'm comfortable with it.
Enzo nods.
And he's just sort of like, just remember, if you notice her trying to do anything, or if she tries to do anything to any of you, and he just sort of takes his hand and just sort of makes a rubbing gesture on his chin, that's the signal. Do that, and I'll stop it. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. I am sorry about all this.
Well, I appreciate you being a good brother.
I guess it wouldn't be the first time I took a big price, I guess.
Wait, how much? Is this bad for you?
I'm probably just gonna get an earful from her. But, frankly, I'm used to it. Trust me, her inferiority complex is not your problem. And if she tries to make it your problem, then I'm going to become hers. So, you coming?
Yeah. Puddles' heart is super soft for Nalsuk right now. He is a good brother.
He is a good brother. What time are we at? How are you all feeling? I do know that there was a bit of a thing about wanting to go beyond the 2 hours or anything, so. You still good, Del?
I think so.
Okay.
If not, like, this seems like a pretty decent time to pause if we need to, because we have been playing for almost, yeah, it's like 2 hours now, I think.
Yep.
2, almost 3.
I mean,
It's about our usual time, and I'm kind of hungry, so I gotta go make food.
I am a little hungry too.
Alrighty. We can stop this here then.
Yeah.
And
Pick up where we
stop.
left off.